G'day, welcome to another episode of Country Life on the Coast. My name is Sean, and on today's episode we're going to replace an element on the Westinghouse freestanding oven. We have here a Westinghouse freestanding oven. The model is a PAK806W. And these three elements work. This one here has stopped working. It's the one that we use all the time, so I'm pretty certain it's the element itself that has failed. So what we need to do is remove this glass top to get to the element, and we'll check it out and replace it if that's what it is. I've replaced elements on these freestanding ovens before, and on previous ones we've done, there's normally a screw. You open up the grill and there's normally a screw or two at the front here, and then this will just, you remove those screws and then you can pull this forward and flip it up. But this one here has no screws in it, and so I have to do a fair bit of research to try and work out how to remove it. It's the opposite of every other one I've seen. So that's part of the reason why I'm doing this video. So if there's other people out there that are looking, trying to understand how this one works, hopefully this will show you. I'm not sure if it's a common one with Westinghouse, but it's a different way of doing it anyway. So we'll take you through the steps. And the very first thing to do is make sure you disconnect the power so that it's all safe. Alright, so what I've done is I've actually removed the power out of this totally. There's normally a panel on here, so you remove the panel and then I've disconnected the power. You don't have to do that, but like I said, I'll just disconnect it, and it's easier then to show you what we're doing. So to remove the glass top, the first thing we need to do is remove this top panel up here because we actually have to remove the switch panel. So you have to start at the back and sort of work your way forward. We have the 4 screws that we'll undo. I'm going to use a battery drill just to make it quicker and easier. Now this, you sort of have to lift it up, and it's slid in at the top here. So you sort of lift it up a little bit and wiggle it out. And as you can see, there's actually an earth strap on it as well. So that's just a spade connector, so we're able to just disconnect that. Put that out the way. Now to remove the switch panel, there's 2 little screws up the top here, so we'll remove those. And so now we just wiggle this out, I thought. Okay, so that was the trick. Just had to pull it up a little bit. There's obviously a couple of locator tabs there to hold it, so then just gently sit that out the way. And what we need to do now is remove these 2 side panels, which I thought I was going to be able to get to as is, but it looks like I can't. So we need to take the back panel off as well. Like I said before, how I pulled the power out, disconnected it totally. Well, now that I have to take this off, I recommend that's probably what you're going to have to do each time. Put that out the way. So what we're after are these 2 little screws, and then we can remove these side panels. So there's this little clip, well, a slot and a clip, and I'm sure it's going to be fun to put them back together, but they just sort of rotate their way out. And now to lift this up, you actually push the glass top back. And it's free. So now we can get under there and undo some screws to get the hot plate itself out. This one's our hot plate that I want to get to. So it looks like we have 2 screws here, and then I'm hoping this will just drop down enough that we can unplug it. So this is the heating element, and straight away this bit here will be the bit that's failed. So that's why we're going to replace it. It's pretty, like I said earlier, I was pretty certain this will be the fault, not a switch, because this is just the one we use all the time. And when you see marks like that, that's a telltale sign that I'd be pretty confident it's failed. So what we might do is I might grab my new one, and then I can unplug things and swap them over. I'd probably recommend, if you are going to do this, just take a photo of what wires go where before you unplug anything, and that way you're going to plug it back in the right spot. This is my new element that I've bought. Actually bought it locally. I did do a search around online as well, but I could buy it locally for the same price. So just want to let you know that sometimes online prices are either the same or occasionally more expensive as well. There was one shop I looked at online that was about $20 dearer than this. So I think this was about $80, might have been $88. And like I said, it was local, so I could just buy it and we're ready to go. It's running away. It's running away. Come on now. Okay. I now have an assistant, which helps a lot. You can see they're exactly the same. We'll need to take that screw out of there actually, which is interesting. And then we'll change the wires. So I'll just remove this first. We got the old one off. We're actually lucky that it has as much lead and stuff as it does, because some of them are really ridiculously tight. But we're just about there. There we go. Lovely. So this is the element that we pulled out, and as you can see, this is the bit that was burning. As soon as I saw that, that's the telltale sign that it is, it's going to be the failed part. So we've replaced that. We'll now start putting them back together. Okay, so we've sat this down, and it's sort of the opposite to put it back together, obviously. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with it back a little bit more, and then we need to slide each of these side pieces on. If you remember when I pulled it apart, there's a little bit of a trick. So it needs to sit like that, but because there's this little tab down here that's got to slide into this little bit, and then there's a up bit here, it's all, and this has to slide in the back here. It's a real juggle of making it all fit. We will have a bit of a play and get these in, and I might need to get my lovely assistant to hold the other side when I get it on as well, because I think one will fall out when I play with the other one. So let's see how we go. No, it had to rotate to get out in the first place. Like that. So it's that sort of rotating motion. Come on, drop down into the right hole. There we go. So let's have a look. Yep, no, that's right. And then what we do, it looks right, let's make sure that's lined up. And we just slide it forward. And it should all lock into place, and we put a couple of screws to hold it. There we go. Stay. Stay. I don't think it stayed. It sort of stayed. Yeah, no, we're good, we're good. Voila! So now you can't lift it up at the front again. Okay. So now that we've got all that back together, I just wanted to show that this needs to sort of be in line. So that was what I was going with when I knew that I was in the right spot with the rest of it. And you can't lift that up, which is what you want. It needs to be locked in like it was. So we're good. So we'll put the back covers back on, connect the power back up, turn it on, and we can use our stove again. Alright, so we just put this bottom panel back on. The only real thing to remember is that earth strap that goes up that we plugged in and connect to that back cover up the top there. So we just need to make sure that that's up and out of the way. Otherwise we just put it on and chuck a couple of screws in it. So putting the top cover on, again, first thing to do is just plug the earth strap on, and that helps confirm which way it goes on as well. And remember, it has this little lip, so we just tuck it in up the top first, up the side, then we put the screws in. Alright, power's connected, so we'll push him back in and then test it out. Hey, we have red, we have heat. It works. Red glows, always a good thing. there we go, guys, got it all back together and it's all working. Not that difficult once you know the right tricks, and I hope if you need to do it, learning out how to take that top glass off makes so much easier, so I hope that helps people. But that's all we've got for this episode. Thank you so much for watching. Please hit that like and subscribe button, and we'll catch you next time. God bless.